Mantra number 14. 2.1.14. यथोदकं दुर्गे वृष्टम्.
Guruji, my voice is gone. You can't chant it.
Sure. यथोदकं दुर्गे वृष्टम्.
यतोदगं दुर्गे वृष्टम्
पर्वतेषु विधावति.
पर्वतेषु विधावति
एवं धर्मान् पृथक् पश्यन्.
एवं धर्मान् पृथक् पश्यन्
तानेवानुविधावति.
तानेवानुविधावति.
So we entered the shloka in the last class. Okay. And here, past few mantras, Yama has been praising this Abheda Darshanam, Advaita Drishti, and then contrasting it against Bheda Darshanam. What will happen if my vision of this life is Dvaitam versus Advaita? That's what he's been doing. So if you look at say 11, mantra number 11, Manasa eva idam aptavyam, deha nanasti kinchana. One has to understand that there is only one. Sarvam Brahmamayam. Brahmam Okate. Okay. And one yaha iha nana iva pashyati, one who insists on seeing duality as paramarthika satyam, then saha mrityoho saha mrityum gacchati. Same thing in the 10th mantra also. Okay. And so here, these are punaha api bheda darshana apavadam brahmanaha aga. So, what will happen for a person who insists that this is all there is? Who insists? So, like the Charvaka says, what does Charvaka say? Yavat jivet, sukham jivet. As long as you live happily, right? And Rinam kritva gritam pibi. Just enjoy life, even if you have to borrow money. He doesn't say steal, just borrow money, he says. So I'm glad he didn't say steal money. Just, you do whatever you want to live and just escape from the authorities. No, he didn't say that. So, and then, etc. So that's not a philosophy. Because it's not a philosophy. You know why? Because even children tell the same thing. Every parent knows. This is every child's philosophy is like this. Yavat jivet, sukam jivet. What is this? You're asking me to go to school and all that. Who gave you this kind of idea? Going to school and it's ridiculous. And so it's a child's thing. A child also says the same thing. And so he's going to contrast all that. And he gives a peculiar example. Just like the water that is falling from the topmost mountain peak, and then it just flows down. And further, there are smaller peaks below. And then each mountain, each hill divides the water further and further. And how that water just gets lost. There is no identity. You can't, down below, you can't see any of the water. Okay. So, like that, a person who insists on dividing the world into bits and pieces will be born again in duality. Will be born again in duality. That is the idea here. He will just continue that vision. That vision has no end to it. Like that, this mantra is saying, Yama is saying here. Okay. This summary we saw last time, no? Yeah. So we'll continue with the Bhaashyam here. Yatha udakam. can unmute yourself.
Sorry. Yatha udakam.
Durge durgame deshe uchrite
Durge durgame deshe uchrite.
vrishtam siktam
Vrishtam siktam.
parvateshu.
Parvateshu.
The next word, there is a spelling mistake in your notebook. Your notebook says parvavatsu. Parvavatsu. Correct? It should be what is there in the Gita press. Parvatavatsu.
Parvatavats.
Parvatavatsu. You have to add a ta. After the parva, you have to add a letter ta. Parvatavatsu. Okay? Parvatavatsu.
Parvatavatsu.
Nimna pradesheshu.
Nimna pradesheshu.
Vidhavati.
Vidhavati.
Vikirnam sat.
Vikiranam sat.
Vinashyati.
Vinashyati.
You can put a comma there and we pause. The yatha example is given. The word starts with just as. And so, tatha. Tatha means in this mantra, tatha is evam. That evam means tatha. Same thing. So also, just like that example, like that it's going to go. So, yatha udakam durge durgame deshe uchritam. Yatha udakam, just as waters. In this case, rainwaters. Okay, just as udakam, durge, moolam. Yama says durge, Shankaracharya says durgame deshe uchrite. Durge means durgame deshe. Because Durga means can mean several things. Durkena gacchati iti. Durga. That which is approached with difficulty is called Durga. Okay, it's called Durga. Durkena gamyam iti Durga. And so here he says, he's making it clearer for us. Durgame deshe. You now think of a place. Think of a place which is not easily accessible. And even more specifically, Uchrite deshe. A place that is elevated. Uchrite deshe. Elevated. It's like a mountain top. He doesn't really say mountain here, but like a mountain top, like a peak, something elevated becomes a mountain, hillock, minimum hillock. But it's more than a hillock, I think, because of what's going to follow. Because of what's going to follow, right? It's simply not a elevated place near my house, not that kind of stuff. Okay, what about that? Something that's difficult to scale, right? That is what he's saying. Durgame. Durgame. Because simply something that's elevated near my house, children will scale it quickly. The children will always be there. They'll always be there. They like all these trees and all these things. Tree also is, nobody, children don't want to play on the ground. They have to play. It's always higher. And among friends also, your apartment is on the fourth floor. We'll come to the fourth. Just playing on the fourth floor gives you some more rush, like that. So, vrishtam is equal to siktam. Vrishtam. Vrishtam. That udakam vrishtam. Water has fallen. Vrishtam is fallen. So, Shankaracharya says siktam. It has fallen. Sinchadatu means to sprinkle. Sometimes the word sikta is used for sprinkling. Sinchadi. Sinchadatu. And so, sprinkled, dropped, fallen. So, in this case, that water has fallen in this elevated area, right? That kind of situation is here. Further, where has it fallen? Parvateshu. Parvateshu. If you just leave it like this, it looks like water, it's mountains. But the Shankaracharya is saying, Parvatavatsu Nimna Pradesheshu Parvateshu. Okay, but these mountains are not as tall as the other one. Other one is Uchritam. Here, Nimna Pradeshesh, lower. Other hillocks or other mountains, okay, but lower level. They are at a lower level than the original mountain on which the water has fallen. Nimna Pradesheshu. Parvatavats. Parvatavats means those that look like hills, look like mountains. They look like mountains. Parvatavat. Parvatavats means looking like mountains. And they are at a lower level. So when water is flowing from the top to the bottom, that is the whole drishtanta here. Okay. When that kind of water flows, vidhavati, when water flows, and that's my imagery here. Water is flowing down from the top to the bottom. Okay. Then what happens to that water? Vikirnam sat vinashyati. Vinashyati. At the bottom, you won't see any water. It's still dry. Still dry at the bottom. Okay. Vinashyati. Because it's gone. It's completely gone. Why it's gone? Vikirnam sat. Because it's constantly divided. Constantly, every path is just dividing off. It's going off in different directions. And tributaries. Tributary is not a word. Tributary is for a river, but before it became a river, right? Constantly getting divided. Vikirinam sat. That's why they say, don't spread yourself too thin, right? Don't spread yourself too thin. Means what? Hey, you're doing too many projects, too many things you are doing. You just reduce it. You think you can accomplish it. That's good. You have a lot of confidence. I'm very happy about that. But I think if you really want to accomplish something significant, you can't do so many things at the same time. Okay? And so, this is the drishtanta. This is the example. This is the illustration. Now let's continue the Bhaashyam. Evam dharman.
Not ready. Sorry. Evam dharman.
So I hope see this getting another turn, going around like this, right? It's a lot of work for the Narayanan and others also. Because they have to keep track of this alphabetical order. Who is there? Next P is there or not? They have to look around. Is he present, not present? They have to see all that. So I appreciate that. So evam dharman
Evam dharman.
atmanaha
Atmanaha.
bhinnan.
Bhinnan.
So your notebook says abhinnan. You have to scratch off the it should be bhinnan. Okay. Bhinnan.
Bhinnan.
Prithak pashyan.
Prudak pashyan.
Prithak eva.
Prudak eva.
Prati shariram pashyan.
Prati shariram pashyan.
Tan eva.
Tan eva.
Sharira bhedan.
Sharira bhedan.
Anuvartinaha.
Anuvartinaha.
So its whole thing is actually one word. Sharira bhedanuvartinaha.
Sharira bhedanuvartinaha.
Anuvidhavati.
Anuvidhavati.
Sharira bhedameva.
Sharira bhedameva.
Prithak.
Prudak.
Punah punah pratipadyate ityarthaha.
Punah punah pratipadyate ityarthaha.
Yeah. So after vinashyati, we have to put a comma, right? So that illustration is over. Evam. In that same manner, dharman atmanaha bhinnan prithak pashyan prithak eva pratishariram. Okay. Evam. In that manner, pashyan. Look at the verb. Verb is pashyan, right? It's coming forward. Is Hari there today? Hariji is there. Yeah, Hariji, are you using the PDF notebook or are you using the Gita Press? I'm just curious because I can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Hariom Guruji. I am using PDF.
PDF, okay. So you have ample space and all that. And
I don't have Gita books.
you don't have Gita. Okay, that makes it even easier. All right. So, because you said last time, no, you were not able to follow, etc. So I'm just a bit alert, conscious about that. So,
Thank you.
right. So, because this Pritak question is coming a little ahead, right? Evam dharman atmanaha bhinnan Pritak pashyan. I pointed all of you to that word pashyan. That is a verb. So you must be able to go forward and identify that word, right? There is a verb there. Pashyan means looking. Looking. Literal meaning looking. Pashyan means what is your view of life? Suppose somebody asks you, what's your view of life? What do you think of life? If you think of life means suddenly a very broad philosophical question somebody is asking. What do you think of life? And so that is the meaning of Pashyan here. One who looks at this life, how does he look at this life? Huh? Evam dharman atmanaha bhinnan pritak pashyan. He looks at these dharma. Yama says dharma, and Shankaracharya says atmanaha. So you should not be shocked. What is this? When did dharma become atma? You should not say because. You won't say it because
Anyatra dharma.
but there the dharma is equal to atma. In anyatra dharma, anyatra adharma, no. There dharma is dharma only. But then somewhere, the word dharma was used to refer to atma. And that somewhere is
Bhagavad Gita.
right here in this book. What was Yama's response to the third varam, third request? Our man says, Yeyam prete vichikitsa manushye nachiketa. To which Yama responded what? Devairatrapi vichikitsitam pura suvijneyam na suvijneyam anuresha dharmaha. Anuresha dharma. This dharma you're asking, this atma you're asking about is anuhu, sukshma. It's not for everybody. Like that he said. So there also Shankaracharya anuhu dharmaha sukshmam, and then he's referring to atma there. Okay. So therefore, that's the meaning here Shankaracharya gives. Dharman means what? Atmanaha. Atmanaha means what? It's plural, plural. And Dvitiya Vibhakti, object of the sentence. Looking at Jivatmas as many and independent. Dvaita Buddhya, Pashyati Yaha, right? So, Evam Bhinnan Pashyan. All people are different. All things are different. All planets are different. Everything is different. Dvaitam is Satyam. That is how everybody begins their life. And so, if this guy continues to entertain that same vision, Dvaita Buddhihi, Prithak eva pratishareeram pashyan ityarthaha. Pratishareeram. All beings are all different. All of us are different, no doubt. And so, Prithak eva pratishareeram. Pratishareeram. All people. All bodies. All bodies are all different bodies, obviously. Different people. And if that's the only way this guy thinks, Prithak eva pashyan. तान एव शरीर भेदानुवर्तिनः अनुविधावति. Very interesting. Another verb, anuvidhavati, is the verb here in the next sentence, right? Tan eva anuvidhavati. That is moolam. Correct? uh, Tan eva. Tan means those bodies, those differences, those different entities alone, this guy will end up with. Anuvidhavati, follow. He follows only those people. Means what? Means he will be Sharira bhedameva prithak punaha punaha pratipadyate ityarthaha. So taneva sharira bhedanuvartinaha. Hey, these people who are also similar to him, they also entertain that same vision, Dvaita Buddhi. Sharira bheda anuvartinaha refers to those differences and those different people who also entertain Dvaita Buddhi. Everybody else entertains, and this guy also insists on entertaining that that's the only vision that is available. And so he will end up following all of them. Means what? He will be born in another life among similar people, just like everybody else, which is what Shankaracharya is concluding. Ityarthaha, the last two words, Ityarthaha, means the meaning of this whole mantra is, what is the meaning of the whole mantra? Sharira bhedameva prithak punaha punaha pratipadyate. The verb is pratipadyate. Pratipadyate, gains. Who gains? This person who is insisting on Dvaita Buddhi. Dvaita is all there is, and there is nothing beyond Dvaita. If somebody says that guy, that person, Sharira Bhedameva Prithak. Punaha Punaha Pratipadyate. Again and again, that person gains that different bodies, different and different bodies, bodies which are distinct and distinct and distinct. Punaha Punaha Prithak. That is the meaning of this mantra. Like that, Shankaracharya is concluding. Now, nowhere here I see the subject. Who gains? Is there a, did you see this in these sentences? That subject, that word, who gains? Gains, they gain different bodies, all that is there. But who gains? There is no, the subject is missing in the entire thing. Therefore, I looked up. Anandagiri says, Ajnaha, Ajnaha, Anandagiri, Tika. He says, Ajnaha. It's the person who does not know the truth. That person is called Ajnaha. And if you look at the Hindi translation of this mantra, Bhaashyam, he says, Manushya unhi. Okay, प्रत्येक शरीर में भिन्न भिन्न देखने वाला मनुष्य, like that he says, मनुष्य. देख ऐसा भिन्न भिन्न दृष्टि वाला मनुष्य, like that he's saying. That is just by the way. Okay. So that's the, it's a commentary is also brief, and the mantra also is fairly easier to understand. Okay. So therefore the meaning is what? Exactly what Shankaracharya said. So the Veda Drishti, one who has Veda Drishti will continue the life. If not this life, next life is waiting. After next life, another life is waiting. And so this is a ninda. This is a ninda of the Veda Drishti. Veda Drishti ninda. Dvaita Drishti ninda. This is a ninda. Ninda means a critique of the vision of duality. All right. Let's do the Anmaya of this mantra. Yatha, yeah, Maheshji.
What is it Vidavati means?
Vidhavati flows.
So
Anvidhavati flows, follows.
follows.
Because for a human being, you don't say flows. And so you say follows. Water flows, but human being follows.
Because in the Bhaashyam it says somewhere Vikirnam Sat
But
Vinashyati.
Kirnam Sat, dissipated. That is the water. The water that's flowing from the mountains becomes dissipated. Vikirnam Sat.
So that's the meaning of
Dissipates.
Vidavati.
Yeah. Vidhavati, Vikirnam Sat, Vinashyati. Dissipated, and in the process of dissipating, gets eliminated. Literal meaning of Vidavati is flows.
Okay.
And Shankaracharya is saying, we don't just stop with flows. Flows, gets dissipated, and gets lost.
And one other thing is in the last sentence,
Hmm.
in the PDF it says Pratipad Pratipadyata. I think it should be te.
Yeah, pratipadyate. Ta is not incorrect. Sandhi. Sandhi makes it pratipadyata ityartha. So that's why we are splitting. Whenever I don't point out a mistake, that probably means what? Sandhi is at work. Sandhi karim is at. So yeah, pratipadyate is the actual word. And it is followed by an ikara. Then the ekara will become pratipadyataya iti, and yakara drops, and then only pratipadyata remains. Like that, there is a rule. Echoyavaya something. Okay. All right, let's do the Anvaya. Yatha Durge Vrishtam Udakam. Yatha Durge Vrishtam Udakam. Parvateshu Vidhavati.
Udagam means literally.
Water. Water. Udakam is water. Yatha Durge Vrishtam Udakam Parvateshu Vidhavati. And Vidhavati, we don't know what it means. If we didn't, then within brackets, you can also say what Shankaracharya said, which is Vikirnam Sat Vinashyati. This means what? Flows, and then in the process dissipating and getting lost. Or disappearing. Okay, comma. Evam dharman. Evam dharman. Evam dharman. Within brackets, atmanaha. Atmanaha. Atmanaha, the way to understand is what? Jivatmanaha. Just in case, better to put the word Jivatmanaha. It's different Jivatmas. We should not go to Sachidananda Atma. Dharman here refers to all Jivas. Evam Dharman Atmanaha. Jivatmanaha, if you want. Then, Prithak Pashyan. Then within brackets, we have to put the subject, Ajnaha. Ajnaha can go before also, obviously. Evam Ajnaha Dharman Atmana also you can put there. All right. Prithak Pashyan Ajnaha Tan Sharira Bhedanuvartinaha. Tan Sharira Bhedanuvartinaha. Eva Anuvidhavati. Tan Eva Anuvidhavati. So I'm going to repeat this. Yatha Durge Vrishtam Udakam Parvateshu Vidhavati Vikirnam Sat Vinashyati, comma, Evam Dharman Atmanaha Jivatmanaha Prithak Pashyan Ajnaha Tan Sharira Bhedanuvartinaha Eva Anuvidhavati. Full stop.
Jaykumar ji,
Yeah.
this first line of this Bhaashyam, Parvateshu Parvatsu.
Yes.
This,
So I mentioned, no, it must be
yeah,
Parvavatsu is wrong.
Parva, Parvata Vatsu.
That's the correct word. So
Yes.
the PDF has to be correct. Parvatavatsu. Okay, let's read the Bhaashyam. Yasya punaha
यस्य पुनः
vidyavataha
विद्यावतः
vidvastopadhikrita
विद्वस्तोपाधिकृत
भेददर्शनस्य
वेददर्शनस्य
विशुद्धविज्ञानघन
विशुद्धविज्ञानगण
एकरसम्
एकरसम्
अद्वयम् आत्मानम्
अद्वयम् आत्मानम्
पश्यतः
पश्यतः
विजानतः मुनेः
विजानतः मुनेः
मननशीलस्य
मननशीलस्य
आत्मस्वरूपम्
आत्मस्वरूपम्
कथं सम्भवति
कथं सम्भवति
इति उच्यते.
इति उच्यते.
Yeah. So introducing the next mantra, Shankaracharya is saying, iti uchyate. Something is being said here. Okay. Going from the end of the sentence, okay? End of the sentence. Atma Swarupam Katham Sambhavati. Okay. That Atma Swarupa, you keep talking about this Advaita Drishti, Abheda Drishti. What is that Abheda Drishti? How does that? Tell me, can you give me an example? And tell me how a wise person looks at this universe, this world, all the people you talked about, Prutak, Bhedan, and Jivatmanaha, etc. Okay, that is the average person. What about this wise person? How can you tell me? Yeah, that is what I'm going to tell you. Let's see what he says. Yes, yeah. Punaha vidyavataha vidvasta upadhikrita bheda darshanasya. Punaha means again and again for the person who is not an ajna. Previous mantra ajna. Here who? Vidyavan. Vidyavan, one who has vidya. That person. Okay? Vidyavataha means of that person, of a vidyavan, of a person who has the knowledge of this Abheda Drishti, right? And what do you mean by Vidyavan? Look at this. Vidvasta Upadhikrita Bheda Darshanasya. Yeah. Okay. So there is the Bheda Drishti. Veda Drishti is there. Differences. Life is all different. The whole world is full of things. That's why you have different departments, different sciences. So you go to college, the first thing is confusion. They force the guide to find out what do you want to study. You want to do this or nutrition or sciences or fundamental sciences or engineering or medicine. This guy doesn't know what's going on. What is all this? There's so much demands are placed on this poor boy and girl. Just nicely they enjoyed school and they did reasonably well. Now they're forced to decide what to do. Why you have to decide? Yeah, that's how it is. That's how it is. It's all departmentalized. Department, you better understand it properly, otherwise you'll become mental, and you don't want to become mental. Just be departmental, okay? And so it's all upadhikrita veda. What is the difference between two human beings? It's upadhi. Upadhi is what? That form, that which gives a sense of form, a difference, attributes, the guna. Okay, you're all different. You live in that house, she lives in this house. Okay. You're tall, you're short. You're different. You do different things, you're completely different. And it's because of Upadhi, says. Upadhi. Because if Advaita is Satyam, then you have to explain differences. Then how did all this difference come about? It's also real. Difference also is real. Non-difference also is real. And so that's why we know now that reality itself must be understood properly. There is something called Paramarthika reality, Paramarthika Satyam. Then there is something called Vyavaharika Satyam. That Vyavaharika, when you say, it is Upadhi Krita Bheda. It is the differences caused by Upadhi. If you go to the jewelry store, the boy says, Mom, it's all gold. Mom, hey, without telling anything to him, he already identified Advaita, correct? But mom doesn't see Advaita. Mom sees Advaita, but there is a lot of Dvaita. She wants to pick certain things she has in mind. She's imposing Dvaita on this Advaita Drishti. Yeah, it's all gold, but wait. We need to, we have to buy some rings and some other bangles we have to buy. And among rings also, there is a lot of differences. Among bangle means what? It's just whole bangle. They have this thing, and then they have the bangles in the cylindrical rod, then bangle. Oh, you have to look around. Can you show me that? This one? This one? And then by the time we leave, it's all there on the table. It was all there, but now it's all on the table. And we better buy something. Otherwise, what will happen? This person has to go back and put everything back. So, Dvaita. What is Dvaita? That is called Upadhi Krita Bheda. Bangle Upadhi. On top of Bangle Upadhi, further differences. Some colors, some gems are studded in there, etc. Upadhi Krita Bheda. Okay. Upadhi Krita Bheda Darshanasya. The guy who sees Veda? No. Vidvasta Upadhi Krita Veda Darshanas. Vidvasta. One who has negated that Veda. Negated means what? Like the boy who says, Mom, it's all gold. That guy. He's a jnani there. That boy is a jnani. The one was negated. How did he negate? He removed all bangles from gold. No. You don't have to remove any bangle, any necklace from anywhere. Let everything be exactly where it is. And the boy knows, the boy himself knows. It's all gold. So that kind of person who cognitively sees that it's all one. Okay. Therefore, this Shariratrayam is there. Stula Shariram is there. Sukshma Shariram is there. Karana Shariram is there. Details, definitions. There is so much Sanskrit everywhere. Everything is Upadhi Krita Ved. Correct? That's what I'm saying here. Vishuddha Jnana Ghana Ekarasam. Vishuddha Vijnana Ghana Ekarasam. Advayam Atmanam Pashyataha. So one who sees Pashyataha, same is, there are a lot of Shashti Vibhakti of that person. Yasya, of that person. Vidyavataha, of the one who has Vidya. Of the one who has this kind of Drishti, Darshanasya. Of the one who sees Pashyataha. Is what? Atmanam. Okay, let's do this also. Vijanataha munehe mananashilasya. Which is given in brackets in your notebook. I don't know why it's in brackets in your notebook. In Gita Press, it's not in brackets. But it doesn't matter. Either way, it's okay. So, Pashyataha, one who sees in this manner. Vijanataha, who knows very well, not simply sees, this vision is not ordinary. Therefore, Vijanataha, maybe that's why it's in brackets. And who is that person? He is Muni. Muni. What do you mean by Muni? Mananashilasya. The person is able to think through all these things. This is not an ordinary vision. Only a thinker can have this kind of a vision. Only a guy who doesn't take everything at face value, that is the person. That person is a Muni. Face value is not enough for me. Tell me more, right? And so, yesterday, I was on one banker I invited him to my place. And we are trying to, our trust we are running. So we're trying to make things easier and see if some banks offer some apps and things like that to our transactions and all. We are sending donations and all that. And so this guy says, sir, we'll do this, we'll do that. Oh, it's all customizable. Oh, it's everything we'll do, sir. So he's just rattling. I said, hold on, just hold on. I'm not going to make decisions based on what you say. Okay. Now I've made some notes based on what you said. I've made some notes. Right, right. What is the commission? Commission, and then he has to look up. Now I'm asking too many questions for it. He has starting to look up, and then look up, and then he wrote some. I wrote some. Then, oh, we developed this thing. It's all that's third party. Razorpay is third party, and ICICI is this. We developed the app and all. Okay, good. And then that's all customizable. You will get an app, and they will get an app and all. I said, okay, you know what? How does that app work? I want to see. I'm going to invite you for a demonstration. Oh, demonstration, sir. Okay, let me look up the website and all that. Yeah, you do your homework. After you finish doing your homework, let me know. Then we'll have a meeting. These fellows, he said, sir, you're asking questions. I have a bag. I thought you will fill up the application form and I'll take the application form. Like that is it. Yeah, we'll fill up all that later. That we'll do later. But let's do something better here in a he seemed knowledgeable. He understood that. He is responsible for non-profit organizations in one section of Coimbatore. He's a young man, very young man. And I was impressed by his knowledge. And he services such people. So it's not like a beginner who's just trying to sell something. So that guy is a Muni. Guy who says, wait a minute, let me understand what exactly is going on. And Manana Shilaha. Shravanam, Mananam, we say, right? Shravanam is hearing. Then you have to process it. You don't accept what you hear just like that. What you hear is good, but you need to process. So that person who has that capacity, right? Pashyataha, Vijanataha, Munehe, Mananashilasya. What does he see? What does she see? Atmanam. Atmanam. And what kind of Atma? Advayam Atmanam. An Atma that is non-dual. Non-dual. Shankara could have stopped there, but then he says, Vishuddha Vijnana Ghana Ekarasam. Ekarasam. Homogeneous. It groups no avayava, no parts, nothing. Amsha, Amshi Bhava is not there, nothing. What are the Vedas? Three kinds of Vedas we talked about. Vijatiya Veda. Then
Sajatiya Veda, Sugata
Sajatiya Veda and Swagata Veda.
Swagata Veda.
Yeah, three types of difference. What are they again? Vijatiya Veda, all the different families of things. Pot is pot, but book is book. These are two different families. There's no connection between these. No connection at all. And so, Vijatiya Veda is there. Then, Sajatiya Veda, among books also, so many books are there. So many different. But they're all different books. One is Bhagavad Gita, one is Mundaka Upanishad, another is Brahmani, another is Veda. And then within the Veda, mantra, this one, Brahmanam is there, and then Samhita is there. So many they're all different. Sajati. So within Shastram, different types of topics. Within books, different types of subtopics. Sajatiya Veda. Or apple, all basket of apples are there. All apples are all same family, but different apples. Then what? Swagata Veda. Swagata Veda. Means it's only one thing, one object. Apple is just one. But then within the apple, there is seed is there, then there is all the stem is there, and there must be some parts, some different parts are there which you can't eat also. So like that, Swagata, with intrinsically, it's all parted, made of parts. Like that, okay? Those Vedas are not there. It's called Ekarasam. Ekarasam. Swamiji says, Rasam, you know Rasam. How many of you, in the south, they know Rasam, but in the north, you all know Rasam? Jyotiji is saying yes. Aniruddha also is saying yes. Okay. Rasam is a very queer thing. If the northern people come to India and they see rasam, they don't know how to handle rasam because it's just pure liquid. It's water. Think of it as water. If somebody pours water on your plate when you're eating food, how will it be? You'll get shocked, right? You're not supposed to pour water on the plate. Water is supposed to be kept in a cup. But no, we are very different people. We pour water on the plate also. Means this rasam is something cooked with 100% water. Its constituents is 100% water. There are little bit spices sprinkled here and there. Maybe some tomato here. That's all. It's all rasam. And he says, no, it's not like that rasam, this eka rasam. Because there, some solid particles are there, spices are there, and the spices will settle down. And then they will ask you, well, before they pour it, they'll ask you, do you want the upper part of the rasam? Or shall I mix it? Or you want the lower part of the rasam? I like very fine taste are there. Because if you mix it, it will be a little more spicy. If you don't mix it, the top portion will be nice, like that. They have all these ideas. And so it's not like that ekarasam. It's not like that. It has no bheda. Okay. And so it is Vishuddha Vijnana Ghana Ekarasam. Vishuddha, it's pure. Vishuddha Vijnana Ghana. Vijnana means consciousness. Consciousness. Ghana means it is just saturated consciousness. Nothing is there except consciousness. That kind of ekarasam atma. Okay. Vishuddha Vijnana Ghana Ekarasam. Mananashilase, etc. We saw. For that person, Atmaswarupam Katham Bhavati iti Uchyate. For that person, that person's vision, you're always talking about Advaita Drishti. And can you tell me a little about that Advaita Drishti? Katham Bhavati. How will it be? And that vision, is it going to be Ishvara Bhinnaha? Is different from Ishvara, that kind of vision? Jiva is Ishvara Bhinnaha, or Jiva is Ishwaramshaha, is part of Ishvara, or it's going to be Ishvara Ikyam. What is it going to be? That's the question. All right. So let's read that mantra here. Who is next? Yeah, Rukmaniji. Yathodakam shuddhe shuddham
यतोदकं शुद्धे शुद्धं
asiktam tadrigeva bhavati
आसिक्तं तादृगेव भवति
evam muner vijanata atma.
एवं मुनेर्विजानत आत्मा
Better to read it this way. Evam muner vijanatah
एवं मुनेर्विजानतः
atma bhavati gautama.
आत्मा भवति गौतम
Yathodakam shuddhe shuddham
यतोदकं शुद्धे शुद्धं
asiktam tadrigeva bhavati
आसिक्तं तादृगेव भवति
evam muner vijanatah
एवं मुनेर्विजानतः
atma bhavati gautama.
आत्मा भवति गौतम
Hey Gautama. Yama is addressing Achiketa. Hey Gautama. Yatha udakam shuddhe shuddham asiktam tadrigeva bhavati. All right, I'll tell you how this munehe vijanataha. Vijanataha munehe. Of that muni. What kind of muni? Vijanataha. One who knows, that person who knows what Atma is all about. Okay. Atma bhavati Gautama. Atma will be like this. Atma will be like this. Okay. How will it be? Yatha udakam shuddhe shuddham asiktam. Yatha shuddhe udakam. The example is like this. You take pure water in a glass or in a plate or in a bowl. And then you take another glass of pure water. And then just pour the pure water into this pure water. What will happen? Pure water only will remain. And you can't find out where this pure water went. Can't, indistinguishable. It's now one big indistinguishable whole. Previously also it was indistinguishable. You can't really distinguish these two pure waters. And now you mix them, then also it is indistinguishable. That is the example. Yatha Shuddhe. Shuddhe Udake Shuddham Udakam Asiktam. I think you already follow what. You pour pure water into pure water. Then Tadrigeva Bhavat. Like that only Atma also. Like that only this vision of the Atma as envisioned by the wise person by a Muni is also like that. Like that he's saying. It means everything, all Jivatmas are identical. What about Paramatma? Different? No, Paramatma also has to be brought in here in keeping with Yama's teaching. Hiranyagarbha has entered and all he said long ago, right? And so Paramatma also included in this. So Atma, Tadrige Evam Atma Bhavati. Hey Gautama, Atma also, as envisioned by these Munis, also is like that. And did it become pure? No, it was always pure. It was always pure. Nothing had to be done. Do Paramatma and Jivatma have to come together in a bowl and then just be ground together, etc.? No, no. Don't do all. This is a very gross example. Don't talk like that. You don't have to grind anything. Nothing is to be done. They are just Aikyam was there, Aikyam is there, Aikyam will be there also. Okay? So that's the gist of this mantra. Let's read the Bhaashyam. यथा उदकं शुद्धे प्रसन्ने
यथा उदकं शुद्धे प्रसन्ने
शुद्धं प्रसन्नं
शुद्धं प्रसन्नम्
आसिक्तं प्रक्षिप्तम्
आसिक्तं प्रक्षिप्तम्
एकरसम् एव न अन्यथा
एकरसम् एव न अन्यथा
तादृगेव भवति
तादृगेव भवति
आत्मा अपि
आत्मा अपि
एवम् एव भवति
एवम् एव भवति
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 I'm splitting, right? I'm splitting all the sandhis. Somebody said it's very beneficial, so I'm doing that. Okay. एवमेव भवति
एवमेव भवति
एकत्वम्
एकत्वं
विजानतः मुनेः
जानतः मुनेः
मननशीलस्य हे गौतम.
मननशीलस्य हे गौतम
Yeah. So यथा उदकं शुद्धे प्रसन्ने शुद्धम. So after Shuddhe, you can add Udake. Udake. Shuddhe, Prasanne, Udake, you can add that word. That word is not there in the Mula. So just as in that pure water, Shuddhe, Prasanne is using the word Prasanna. Prasanna means what? Pure. Happy, pure happy. Like happiness is pure, unpolluted, contaminated. Okay, Prasanne. So just as in that pure water, Shuddham prasannam udakam asiktam prakshiptam. So that udakam, the second word udakam is there. Yatha udakam. Udakam is the second word, right? You bring that forward and put it after Shuddham. Shuddham. Yatha Shuddhe prasanne udake Shuddham udakam asiktam. Or Shuddham prasannam udakam asiktam. All similar words, right? So pouring pure water into pure water. Asiktam means what? Prakshiptam. Dropped. Dropped. Poured. Prakshiptam. Tadrigeva bhavati. Tadrigeva. It remains exactly like before. Tadrigeva bhavati. Just like when pure water is poured in pure water, then that poured pure water continues to remain pure water. Tadrigeva bhavati. Nothing happens to the pure water. Nothing happens. Even though it's changed from one place to another place and so forth. Okay, nothing happens. Ekarasam eva bhavati. Ekarasam eva. That's bhedarahitam, right? We saw last time. Bhedarahitam doesn't have any differences, doesn't brook any differences. And in Mandukya, Swamiji quotes Mandukya, where there in Mandukya Upanishad is a very brief Upanishad. It has only 12 mantras, that's it. But then our Shankaracharya's guru is Govinda Bhagavad Pad. Govinda Bhagavad Pada's guru is Gaudapad. Gaudapadacharya wrote about this 12 mantras of Mandukya. It's called Mandukya Karika, very famous. Mandukya is never studied without the Karika. The Karika goes together. And Karika is some 100 verses or so. 100 verses. Let's say. So let's say 120 total.
215 shortly.
Or 215 were that. 215. Okay. So 200 is written, right? More than 200 is written. That's called Karika. In that Karika, of course, there is a Shankaracharya has written a Bhaashyam on the entire thing, the mantras also, and the Karika also is written. So it's a big text. Ends up being a big text of study. So there he gives the example. Gaudapadacharya gives the example of this space. Ghatakasha. It says Ghatakasha means the spot space. The space that is identified with the pot doesn't really fragment Mahakasha, the overall space, Mahakasha. It doesn't really fragment, it doesn't affect at all because it's all Ekarasam. Like that, there is a shloka. And so, like that, here also, pure water poured in pure water is also exactly like that. Na anyatha, not otherwise. Not otherwise. There's no bheda possible here at all. Vijatiya bheda nasti, sajatiya bhedaha nasti, swagata bhedaha nasti. Okay. It remains just as the water poured in another water continues to remain exactly like that as it was before also. Atma api. Now we read all this. Okay. Atma api. Evam eva bhavati. Atma also remains exactly like that. Atma also can be visualized exactly like this example. Ekatvam. Ekatvam. You can say ekatvam. Prapnoti. Prapnoti. Means it gains ekatvam. It was ekam before, now also it is ekam. Okay. Okay. Ekatvam. So it was ekam before, and now also it's ekam. And but jivas are all different. Everything is different in this world. And how did all that difference suddenly become ekam? It didn't suddenly become ekam. In your vision, it suddenly became ekam. In the vision, it became ekam. Became ekam. Just like you awoke from the dream, and you says, "Oh my God, it is just me. The whole world was just me." You said, and how did it become suddenly or what? Yeah, it became suddenly. Suddenly it became. And when something becomes sudden like that, it means there's no process involved, no karma is involved, no kriya is involved. Kriya takes time to fructify. But jnanam reveals what is. And so previously I had a wrong drishti, bheda drishti. Now it is abheda drishti. Correct? And so He's saying Vijanataha Munehe Mananashilasya. For that person. For whom is this? For the one who knows, of course. Vijanataha Munehe Mananashilasya. We saw that earlier. And here Swami says, for whom? For whom? He asked the question like that. For whom is this? Now I am asking you that question. For whom?
For the Jnani. For the Jnani.
For the Jnani. For whom?
Agnani.
For Ajnani. No, Vijanataha.
Gnani everybody knows.
Swami says, for us. For us. Sometime we should begin to say, for us also. Ani Jnani, okay. But we are also Jnanis. Like that, we should be able to say, yes, for people like us, like that. We are also Manana Shilaha. We are also Muninaha. Like that, we should be able to say. Munayaha, sorry. All right. Now, this Bhaashyam, over. Bhaashyam for the mantra is over. And, okay. And now Shankaracharya is coming.
Why is he using Gautama, Jakamarji? Gautama.
Yeah, Gautama. Hey, Gautama. Gautama. Did we see the word Gautama before?
Yes, initially in the first itself. His father's name is Gautama.
Where? Where did we see it?
The first mantra, second mantra.
Second mantra.
No, maybe.
It comes. Where does it come? It comes in. The second mantra, the second boon he asks. What is the second boon? I want my father to be free from worry and all, right? So let's look up that mantra. 25, 20. They were therapy. You have to go back.
10th mantra.
No, first mantra, I think. Father's, this thing is first mantra, not second. So let's go back. 10th mantra, is it?
Yeah, first boon.
Yeah, correct, exactly.
First.
Chanta Sankalpa Sumana Yatha Syat. 10 is correct. 1-1-10. Syat Vitamanyur Gautamo Mabhibhrityo. Yeah. That's the one. That is his first. Tvatprishtam Madhivadet Pratitaham Yetatrayanam Pratamam Varam Vrane. Pratamam Varam Vrane. This is my first boon. Okay, Gautama. He is referring to his father as Gautama. And his father's name is? Nachiketa's father's name is?
Shravas.
Vajashravas.
One of the other names also Gautama is there, no? In the family tradition. Said another name also.
So Gautama. There are some stories behind Gautama and all. But here the word Gautama refers to Nachiketa. So at the end of the movie, everybody remembers the hero and heroine. After that, suddenly they ask, who was that guy there that came the chai shop and all? What happened? Means what? Who acted as his father? And we have to scratch our head. So like that, Gautama. So here is referring to Nachiketa. All right, let's read the remaining part of the Bhaashyam. Tasmat. Kutarkika.
Uktartika.
Bheda drishtim.
Veda drishtim.
Nastika kudrishtim.
Nastika drishtim.
Cha ujhitva.
Cha
Ujhitva.
Ujjitva.
Matru pitru sahasrebhyah api.
Matru pitru sahasrebhyah api.
Hitaishina.
Ihaitshina.
Vedena upadishtam.
Vedena upadrishtam. Upadishtam.
Atma ekatva darshanam.
Atma ekatva darshanam.
Shantadarpaihi.
Santadarshamithi.
Shanta darpaihi.
Santadarba idhi.
Adharaniyam.
Adaraneyam.
Ityarthaha.
Ityarthaha.
Good. Ityarthaha means that's the meaning of the entire mantra. That's what he's going to say, right? So, tasmat, therefore. Therefore means what? Therefore means what? Hey, Veda Darshana Ninda was done. Hey, that means the situation being like this, being that if I continue to take Veda as Paramarthikam and refuse to look at Abheda, then Mrityo Samrityam Apnoti, etc. is there. And so knowing all this, hey Gautama, Tasmat, therefore, what should you do? Okay, Upakrama, Upasamhara, right? Upasamhara is happening, right? Upasamhara, Shadlingam and all we saw some time ago. So, therefore, Kutarkika Bheda Drishtim Nastika Kudrishtim Cha Uchitva. Therefore, giving up, Uchitva, Tyaktva, rejecting. Rejecting what? Rejecting what? Kutarkika Bheda Drishtim. So, there are Shad Darshana. There are 6 matas, okay? Okay, what are the matas? Purvamimamsa, Uttaramimamsa, Sankhya, Yoga, Nayayika, and Vaisheshika. Once again, Purvamimamsa, which is Karma Kandis, and then Uttaramimamsa, which is Vedanta, and then Sankhya, Yoga, Nyaya, Vaisheshika. These are the 6 darshanas. Okay. Now, this Uttaramimamsa is all the Karmakandis, means those who are, all of them have Veda as a pramana. But then, these others, Uttaramimamsa, Purvamimamsa, all of us are called Uttaramimamsikas, right? We're all Vedantis. Uttara means end portion of the Veda. Purvamimamsa means previous portion of the Veda. Previous means Karmakanda. Okay, it's called Uttaramimamsa. Okay, everybody or Tarka Pradhana, they are logic Pradhana. They ignore the Upanishad of the Veda, which says that there is Advaita Siddhi, which tells us, but they ignore the Vedas. They are ignoring. They want the Vedas, but they ignore the main message of the Veda. They are taking all the other karma aspect of the Veda alone. Okay. And using logic, of course. They are Tarkikas. They're called what? Tarkikas. Tarka Pradhanas. They're all Tarkikas. Because remember, using logic, we also have used a lot of logic. But then, using logic, you can never come from the finite to the infinite. Please remember that. Logic will take you from one finite to another. It can never make you jump from finite to infinite. That is why, and logic is good, but here he's saying, Kutarkika Bheda Drishtim. Kutarkika. They are using logic, Kutsita Tarkika. Kutsita. They are using flawed logic. Flawed logic they are using. Okay. They're using you should use logic, no doubt. Logic is important. You can't be logical, no chance. So Kutarkika means flawed logic. This duality in Veda based on flawed logic. Tyaktva. And further, Nastika Kudushtim cha. Nastika Kudushtim. Hey, there are some Nastika matas also. Jaina mata is Nastika mata. Charvaka mata. Enjoy life as long as you can. Just make your best. Okay. This is called Charvaka mata. It is a Nastika mata. Hey, there is Ishvara, there is Atma, there is Karma, there is Punyam Papam. Hey, you are free from all that. It is all there, but at the same time, you are free from all that. That's a huge step forward. If you insist on seeing Dvaita, then that Dvaita will continue. There's no reason why it should stop. When matter doesn't end, science itself says Matter does not get destroyed. Energy does not get destroyed. There is a law of conservation of mass and energy. Why should consciousness be destroyed? Consciousness is what makes me perceive matter, is what makes me perceive energy. And so it's of a higher order of reality than mass material. Okay. So there is, you can't logically prove that consciousness will cease to exist. Okay, think about that. The mass itself will not cease to exist. Okay. Pralaya is there. We talk about pralaya. Pralaya is not disappearance of everything. It is just everything becomes unmanifest, like the tree becomes a seed, right? So this sudden appearance and disappearance without nothing, no, we don't accept. This conservation is so important. Okay? Therefore, there is no reason to believe that consciousness just disappears like. No, can't disappear. And so this Nastika Kudishtim, what are the Nastikas? Charvakas, Jainas, Bauddhas. Bauddhas, there are 4 types of Bauddhas, Yogachara, Ityadi. They are the 6 types of Nastika Matas. All that Ujjitva, Tyaktva, Hiktva, Adaraniyam. He says the last word. Look at the last word. Adaraniyam. You pay attention to what the Upanishad is saying. This message of Advaita. Adaraniyam. And Vedena Upadishtam. Hari. I hope you're following. I'm just walking. I'm going. We are learning to just play in this garden of words, right? And so I hope you're getting used to that. Okay. So you should get Vedena Upadishtam means be able to go right in the middle of the sentence. Okay?
Shabdajalam Maharanyam.
So Vedena Upadishtam Adaraniyam. Hey, this you pay attention. Don't disregard this Upadishtam, that teaching. By whom? By Veda. Vedena Upadishtam. And what kind of Veda it is? Hitaishina Vedena. Veda is Hitaishi. It means well for all of us. Veda cannot say anything that is hurtful to the humanity, to the human being. Okay. And so prashvasitavyam yasya mahato bhutasya prashvasitavyam Vedaha. It is the breath of Brahmaji. Veda is considered as a breath of Brahmaji. So it can't be hurtful. So that kind of a Veda. And how helpful is this Veda? Matru Pitru Sahasrebhyaha Api Hitaishino. If you think one mother means well for you, if you think one father does good for you, thinks well about for their children, you think about 1,000 mothers and fathers of a functional family. Let's say functional family, because otherwise all this hatred and all will come in between. So an ideal mother and father, right? Thousands, even more compassionate than 1,000 fathers and mothers. Okay, that is the Veda that we are looking at here, and therefore the Upadesha given by such a Veda, compassionate Veda, and the Atma Ekatva Darshanam, which is Upadishtam, which is taught by the Veda. Okay, Adaraniyam. By whom should this be seriously looked into, respected, acknowledged? Shanta Darpaihi. Darpa. Very interesting. Kracharya is thinking. Darpa. Darpa means what? This arrogance. Arrogance. That I know everything, or who are you to tell me all this? And what is all this Veda and all? Why do you need the Tell me, did you need the Vedas all these years? Did you even think of the Vedas? No. You've led 60 years without Vedas. You can't live another 20 years without Veda or what? Yeah, I think I can. Okay, then what's your problem? Why are you talking about Vedas? Why are you suddenly bringing Veda into the picture? Yeah. This is called Darpa Buddhi. I know everything. We know everything. We are in fact progressing also. Okay. Not only we know everything, we are discovering a lot also. So life is good. Okay. And if you talk like this is called Darpa Buddhi. Shanta Darpaihi. Those who don't have that kind of Buddhi. And it's in Bhagavad Gita also we saw Amanitvam adambhitvam ahimsa kshantirajyavam. Amanitvam, Mani. Who is a Mani? Mani is a Darpi. Mani, who says, I have accomplished a lot and there's nothing more beyond what I know. Okay.
Darpa is arrogance.
Arrogance, correct. Arrogance. Arrogance means what? The guy is the legitimate accomplishments. Yes, we acknowledge all that. But I become arrogant because of my accomplishment. If that happens, then that's a problem. And so that self-conceit, vanity, egoism, some words are used like that. And so Shanta Darpahi, by those who know the limitations of what they know, who know there is more to life than what they know. And so those people who acknowledge that, Shanta Darpahi, Adaraniyam, do not be indifferent to the message of the Veda. Like that, Shankaracharya is concluding. Let's do the Anvaya and then
Guruji, can you explain once more that word Shanta Darpai, how he is trying to combine Darpai and Shanta?
those for whom whose Darpa is neutralized, shantified.
Okay. Is it originally I had Darpa and then with this knowledge I become a little more knowledgeable so that the Darpatva is coming down?
Yeah, so you're talking about my Darpatva has come down after studying the Veda. That is what
Yeah.
you're talking about. No, he's talking about, yeah, you may be a Vedika and Vedas also can have Darpa, right? In Chandogya Upanishad, this guy, okay, what is his name? So Shvetaketu comes after 16 years studying Veda. He knows the Veda inside out. Guess what he got? He has. He has Darpa.
I know.
After studying all the Vedas, he has Darpa. He's arrogant. And
I know attitude.
I know attitude, exactly. Father is distraught. Father said, my God, this guy he's acting, this is not going to help him. So that is called Darpa. So no, here, here you can bring that Darpa. That is why that father is asking, hey, did you ask the teacher what is the most important thing to know? And he says the teacher doesn't know that. This is another Darpa. Darpa of Darpa it is. Not only, speak for somebody else also. So, very interesting it is. Anyway.
Could it be, Guruji, Shanta Darpai is Shraddhavan?
No, Shanta Darpa is Shanta Darpa. Okay, Shraddha is connected. But Darpa means you must be willing to do Namaskara to somebody. Yeah, Shraddha. You must have Shraddha in something.
Because here it is Vedeshu and Shastreshu, right?
Yeah. So, Vishwasaha, Shraddha. You can say Shraddha. Correct. Shraddha is also fine. I'm reminded of somebody who told me once. She said, I will not do Namaskar to any human being. I never heard these kinds of things before. I said, my God, what is that? I didn't understand what she was saying. And she said, no, I can't. But she has changed completely after that. But so.
Phrase to call such people, Vanangamadiyan.
Vanangamadiyan. Okay, let's finish this one. Okay, we are running out of time. So, yeah, I'm going to give the Anvaya. Yatha Shuddhe Udake. Yatha Shuddhe Udake in brackets. Asiktam Shuddham Udakam. Yatha Shuddhe Udake Asiktam Shuddham Udakam Bhavati. Sorry, not Bhavati. Tadrigeva Bhavati. Tadrigeva Bhavati. Tatha. No, I think Tatha should not be there. I didn't write it properly. Evam is enough. Yeah. Evam. Don't scratch off tata. Evam is there in the moolam, I think. Yeah. Evam. Right? Evam. Vijanataha munehe atma. Vijanataha munehe atma. Api. Api in brackets. Api. Okay, wait a minute. So I change back again. Tatha is, you put tatha there in brackets. Scratch off the evam.
Tadrike tata.
Okay. Vijanataha munehe atma api evam eva bhavati. I'm still not happy with this. I'm still not happy. Okay. Evam vijanataha munehe atma api bhavati. I think that's the right way to say it. Yeah. So let's go back. Okay. You instead of tata, you put evam. Does Shankaracharya say tata? No, he doesn't say it. So we should scratch off tata. You just put evam instead of tatha. Evam vijanataha munehe atma api bhavati. That's perfect. Like that, the atma of the muni also is.
There is an Eva, right? Can you repeat that? Where did the Eva go?
Yeah, Eva will go away now. Okay, Eva is not there in the mantra. Okay, so yeah, evam vijanataha munehe atma api bhavati. Full stop. Hey Gautama. Okay, so there is no. Okay, okay, full stop. Hey Gautama. And see, Shankaracharya. Okay, you write this down. Atma ekatva darshanam adaraniyam. Atma ekatva darshanam adaraniyam. Those two words in brackets. So what did I do? I used the Hey Gautama. See, if you look at the Bhaashyam, Hey Gautama, and then he is giving us Tasmat, etc. He's giving, right? So I took the Hey Gautama to be part of the sentence Tasmat, right? Yes or no? Yeah, exactly. Hey Gautama Tasmat. But suppose you take Hey Gautama to be part of the previous section, then it will not be like that. Then you just put Hey Gautama Yatha Shuddhe Udake Asiktam. Like that, you can write the sentence. Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Apadamapa
Patapagataram
Tataram
Taram
Padam Lokabhiramam Shriramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham. Om Apadamapahattaram Dataram Sarvasampadam Lokabhiramam Shriramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham. Om Apadamapahattaram Dataram Sarvasampadam Lokabhiramam Shriramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.